hop over to the stuff. So I had a thought.
What are we talking? What's the subject? Is it Andrew? Is it
Comics,
Sleeping at Work? It's
comics.
all comics. All right.
It's
Yeah,
comics. So
you saw a couple emails on the Andrew stuff.
yeah,
All right.
I'm ignoring that for now.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So comics. I'm thinking more in terms of you as a superhero stays right, but we develop it with a tiny little bit of a genie kind of magic thing, because basically what you are, bless you Laura, basically what you do is you bring what I consider is you're giving people magical solutions to their problems, pocket related stuff, right? So I'm thinking more in terms of do you remember that what was the 50s TV show, the
Yeah,
classic
I
one
dream
where
of Genie. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right. So you popping in into the right time of the situation, zapping the people or the person in question, and then their problems are resolved. They basically find themselves with a Scotty vest, and their issues are solved. You're the Deus ex machina of the Scotty vest universe. So then we can develop that into a separate entity, you as an alter ego, Laura as a separate character, your sidekick the poodle, etc., etc. It's just a question of developing it further. I think that's a good approach. Whereas you're not limited by the because you're creating this universe, right?
So I
uh
mean, well, all you're really adding. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to get a sense of this.
mhm.
Is the I Dream of Genie click X-ray, and now they're there. That I mean, that's your big
Basically,
idea. That I
yeah,
mean, I'm missing something. I'm sorry.
right. No, it's good. So what I'm trying to tell you is you're not limited by anything in terms of superhero fiction. You mentioned kryptonite several times, like broken zippers, etc., etc. So those are the situations that you're fixing. I don't want Pocketman to have weaknesses, because that means the
Yeah,
Scotty
we
Vest
don't
has
have
weaknesses,
to. No,
right?
you're right. You know,
You know
I'm
what I
just
mean?
trying
And
to. Yeah.
right, I know, but I read your email literally, so I'm trying to kind of
Okay.
answer the
No.
point by point.
I was just trying to figure what is, and I can't help but I'm dead serious. Every time I listen to that Steve Carmen song, it's dead on to where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it constantly.
Yeah.
Scotty Vest is here. That sense, that excitement, even the music. I mean, we could build identically off of that. We don't have to feel restrained by it. But I mean, again, if it's already there, and it's there for the taking, it's core to the brand. So I think the more we can stick to, okay, what is core to the brand, including our home and the pocket, the whole Q, if we pull elements from James Bond and Q, and variations of superhero and Bond and spy, and pull it all in together. I mean, all we have to do initially is come up with 90 seconds or 60 seconds, to begin with. So,
Three
but
or four times 30. So 30 would be where I would hit the
okay,
sweet spot, right?
right. So
Yeah.
initially, I mean,
Yeah.
building out, we don't have to start on thinking about the actual feature film, although
Yeah, that's
that's
yeah,
where I
I
get
mean,
lost. I mean, I'm
I know,
so
I know.
deep
You're
into
pushing far into the future. You're
right,
2001ing it. I mean, give it a break. We're at
right.
primates hitting each other with bones right now.
Okay, so if we're talking right now about simply, does it need a kryptonite? I don't
It
think it doesn't.
it doesn't.
Okay. Does it need? What is the singular problem? What is the problem solution? How do we take someone and convert them into a pocket man? Is that
Right.
what we do? Is it a okay?
Yes. Basically, what you are doing is you are, as I mentioned, you're the Deus ex machina of the SCOTTeVEST universe,
On
which
the
means
what?
basically Deus ex machina. That's a film term for basically the hand of God coming in and solving a
Oh, okay,
problem.
okay.
Right. So basically, you are that. You pop in, you solve the situation, you smile, you pop out. That's it. You are the kind of mysterious figure behind the brand, right? So. Then we will develop you further. But in the beginning, we're focusing on the problems and the people which are having the problems, and you as a solution that you sell a product, and they're not going to believe it's real. They're going to have to click to figure out if it's actually real, right? So we're focusing on several simple situations which are realistic, which you kind of pushed for, right? So we have the queue in front of football stadiums, for example, the Super Bowl, right? You're not allowed to bring in a bag. You have the giant queue. People are waiting. The security guys like this. There's a huge "no bags allowed" sign above them. Everybody's carrying a bag. They're all frustrated, and then you pop in. You just go, heh, and you zap them all, and they're always SCOTTeVEST. They go in, and
And
then you
they
have the
X-ray,
big,
and they
yeah.
X-ray.
Well,
Okay.
they X-ray inside, right? You have the final shot is basically from the ground up. They're playing football. The entire seats are filled with people wearing SCOTTeVESTs, and it's basically a celebration of your brand. That's one situation. The second one is the phone dropping down the toilet. It's very much grounded, right? A woman with her phone in the back pocket, because that's the only pocket that works on women's jeans. That's where most of them keep their pockets, their
I've noticed
phones.
that, the big
Yeah,
impression. Yeah.
yeah. And mostly it's usually sticking out the top part, especially
Right.
with the bigger phones, right? So she walks into a stall, she closes the door, you just hear a splash, and then you just hear it, oh, right? It just
But
goes in.
would a pocket fall, would it fall into the toilet from her back pocket? I mean, she
It
pulls it.
would. What? How do you pull it down?
Well, yeah, you pull it. All right, that's not. I mean, my experience is you bend over to flush, or you do something, and it does it. The other scenario, and the sooner these stop being in conversations and point
Yeah,
in
and they're
bullet
down
points.
on paper. I
I
understand.
haven't seen them, so they don't exist as far as I'm
I
concerned.
just want to pitch them to you
Okay.
first before we
The
move
other
on.
one I think that's really compelling is pulling a laptop, out of, I just was visiting customers. This I know in person, eyes pop out, either a laptop
It's
or a
com-
tablet.
but it's compelling in real life. I'm not sure it's going to be compelling in
All right, you
animation
may
where
be right. You may be right.
Wiley Coyote can pull on whatever he wants out of his bag, right? From Acme, from
Yeah.
Warner Brothers. So it's already seen, and some of the things work in real life, some don't in animation. I have included here your idea previously with the airplane, where the guy is basically rummaging through the overhead compartment to get his laptop or whatever. So turbulence hits, the entire airplane goes down. Well, it's not going down; it just shakes, and everything falls out from the overhead apartment. All the shit is on the ground. People are rolling their eyes, and you pop in, you zap him. He's on the seat. He pulls out an iPad, and
Is it
he
just him
just
or is it everyone? Let's. I mean,
it,
we should talk
we
about
can
that.
work with that. Yeah, we can work with that. Do you
I,
want
I mean, if we are we changing one person, or do we change one person and then we back out and you see that we've created an army or revolution, or whatever, a group, or there's a word that's better.
so for the stadium scenario, it was everybody. For the airplane, it was just that one guy, but we can absolutely use everybody. That's a good thing. I mean, we can feature more features of the product in the airplane. That was kind of a part of the original storyboard I pitched you a while back, right?
Yeah, we might want to do once for the first segment, or just let's start with this concept of one person, one, and me and other people in doing a trip. They're going on a trip. They're
I
getting in
want to
the cab.
focus on the travel portion of it.
Right, I agree. That's where I'm coming. So instead of
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, maybe it's someone who wakes up in the morning and puts his boxers on. Just maybe a day in the life of that traveler. I don't know. This is coming out of left field, but if we're trying to create a storyboard that is not four different unrelated scenarios, maybe it's and so let's walk through. A guy wakes up to catch his flight, and he looks at he reads one bag, no bags allowed. He grabs his and then Scott comes in there and flags him and says, "Here, SCOTTeVEST." And then he goes into security. What are the scenarios? And then he goes on the plane, and then he goes to Trevi Square, and where all the skimmers and pickpocketers are. I mean, if you talk about sort of four scenarios for one traveler, maybe that would be a more compelling, you know,
yeah, story. But this is very similar to what we did previously, though. I'm kind of worried that you're backtracking again. The idea previous, if you remember, is the guy waking up packing in a panic because he's late for the airport. He runs out with 3 bags. He loses one on the way. He loses one at the airport. He is stuck only with his carry-on, and the carry-on is too heavy for the airplane. And basically, they keep it. He boards the airplane. He has nothing on him. Everybody else is wearing a
yeah,
Scotty vest.
this doesn't work. I mean, what you're just describing,
Right.
but I'm doing a variation of that. I'm merging.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. I'm just saying it's similar, but we
It's similar,
branched.
but it can be different. I mean, the
Yeah,
story that you were
absolutely.
telling is, it takes a little too much thought all along the way, and too many lines need to be, dots need to be connected.
I'm just worried as to how you approach this type of scenario in animation, and it's being funny,
No,
because
I I
we need to
appreciate
also
that.
consider that, right?
I'm
'Cause that-
I'm not buying into the genie method. Number one,
right. Okay.
it's one way to do it. I mean, another way is wave a wand.
No,
I'd much rather, let me finish. I'd much rather it being something like, you know I throw him a Scotty vest or something like that. And it seems to me that, building off of I Dream a Genie, it's a little too, too similar. Yeah. Go
the
ahead.
genie was a reference for the power that you have. You're actually using a mechanical thing because you're a pocket scientist to basically make their clothes into Scotty vests.
So I convert whatever it is they're wearing
Yes, yes. The idea was for you to just kind of be able to visualize what I'm talking about.
with my own eye. I mean, come on, let's pretend this is a major motion picture and that you're not, 3 frames and you get there. What is the actual action that converts them? Is it changing time? Is it reversing time? Is it to,
So
I don't know how.
it is changing time, and it's reversing time as well. Basically, what I pitched you the last time we discussed this. So what you do is there's a situation that happens. So us as the audience that don't know the brand, right? I'm thinking
Right,
this
right.
as a top of funnel thing. We have
Yes.
no idea what your brand is and what problem it solves. We see a person in a subway riding a subway. We see a pickpocket, cartoon pickpocket that's dressed like a freaking thief, like the Hamburglar from Burger King. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
he sneaks in. He pulls out stuff from his backpack. He runs away. You witness it. You go, not on my watch. You zap him. The guy's wearing a Scotty vest. The same
Oh, so
thief
we
comes in.
reverse time. We take one
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The same
So
thief
my
comes in.
superpower is I have the ability to turn back time, and
And yeah,
and
and
transform.
yeah, their clothing to
And
SCOTTeVEST.
how does that? How does that? Is it like a smoke clears? Is it like a? Yeah,
I was thinking of a giant white flash, like a zap, and then it kind of comes in like an
Well,
electrical.
okay, hold on. I mean, because let's go back. Anything we can relate back to things we've done previously, like pocket science, rocket science. So maybe it's, I'm not a fan of this, but like this, the smoke of a rocket ship taking off. It's not logical enough, but
Yeah, it's not, and it's explosions and it's terrorism. It's a lot of stuff. I that's
okay.
why I kind of took it out. But if it's an electrical thing and you click on something and it just sends a, and then the situation changes, right?
All right, maybe I'm hyper focused on something that is not that.
I think you are,
So
because
how
it's like
is
two
it
frames
then?
out of.
How okay, we've got, you know our, we have an intro, we've got a scenario 1, a scenario 2, 3 and 4. Let's call it 4 scenarios,
Yep,
or
yep,
and
yep.
then we have a buy now outro,
Well,
or
not a buy now, but
but
yeah, learn more,
this is
or
where
yeah.
pocket science, you too can become a pocket man or a woman.
I'm still always kind of thinking about that 3D vest rotating with all the pockets on it, just because we can then show it's a real product, but obviously updated. That I really love
I
the
don't
spinning
disagree.
RFID
We
on
came
the.
up with it years ago. Is that, do you put me in it, as a cartoon rotating and
No, I would actually divorce it from the cartoon just so people can actually realize it's a physical product, because you're still trying to
get yours
pitch them.
now? It's almost like, get yours now. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah, that's it.
all right, so how do we
The
take this?
future of pockets is here. Something along that line. But I'm just spitballing, but it's like, this superpower can now be yours. Something along those lines.
You too can be a pocket man, or,
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. You know what I mean?
all right. So listen, this is the 10th conversation we've had with this.
Yes, but it's
I
always
know it's
different.
changed. I know it's changed. Lock and load, and let's start putting pen to paper. And let's say, okay, intro looks like this, outro looks like this. Scenario one is this. We still haven't come to a conclusion as to whether these scenarios are interconnected.
So let me just bullet point this out for you right now as we're talking about it, right? One, let's say we start off with 160-second ad or spot, right? We can have a longer kind of commercial feel to it, and then we can split it up if needed. You wanted, and I agree, for it to focus on travel, because that's what it
Yes.
needs to be.
I think the best damn travel vest, and that's where the highest and best use is. And we can come up with a number of various scenarios in other ways as well. And by the way, the phone falling in the toilet is almost more apt in a lavatory in a plane, because you're boxed in, and that's almost like, holy shit, it's gone. And you can almost watch it. That's almost more comedic. It goes out the engine, or it drops, you know.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. I would. The biggest problem I had with the phone falling into the pocket, into the toilet, is, you know coming up with an idea of how you would actually show it physically, because in animation, once you kind of bend over to flush, the foam falling out of the pocket, it's like 2 frames. Nobody's going to notice what it is
But
until
it's the
you actually.
sound. You get the sound too, kerplunk.
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
water. You can even get water splashing their face. I mean, which is pee water at that point. So
So let me okay, so while I have you on the line, we still have another 9 or so minutes.
no,
uh
I don't have anything after this. So this is too important.
your schedule said you did, but it's fine.
I don't know. Maybe
We start off with. Sorry.
Laura said she'd reschedule. It's her workout. So
Okay. So we start off with somebody. I wouldn't start at home. I would start at the airport. I would start him at the place that he's
okay,
actually.
through the
So
security line.
yeah,
Start.
through the security line.
That's
So that.
frame one.
Yeah, we're already in action, right? So his carry-on is being tagged, flagged, whatever. He has to unpack it. He's frustrated. We don't see the entire unpacking. We just see his problem. Do you want for us to present the solutions while the problems are happening, or would you like, for example, hear me out and
Oh no,
and
I
answer
can
me?
see where you're going. You do
So
one story and then another story.
yeah. So that's one thing. So we can have it's called a kind of a double life. That's what it's called
No,
in
I
film.
like
So
that. No,
basically,
I think that
you
makes
you
sense.
right, you have him as a main character that has all the problems, and then you have a person with SCOTTeVEST flying through everything or in front of him, right? So the jealousy in the main character is palpable, or you can have the main character in a SCOTTeVEST, solving his entire problem, and everybody else is frustrated. So that's kind of, you are either the solution or the problem. That's the thing. But I don't see like Pocketman coming in and solving each of those
No,
problems
I think
in
it's
all of
annoying.
those scenarios.
I think you need to show three three vignettes, three stories, three or four, and let's fucking agree on them, for God's sake.
Yeah, but that's why I'm doing this now.
Okay, I know, but one's going through the security line. One is is on your plane and being able to grab stuff.
Yeah, the overhead stuff. Yep.
Another one.
I like the airplane bathroom. Yes,
and
that's
then
fine.
fourth one, let's say, is you have landed, you're in Trevi Square.
Destination pickpocket. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree with that.
So now we have the four elements. Now it's whether I think you show what the full four stories, and then you reverse time. I come in and say, but what if you had a SCOTTeVEST? What if you were a pocket man? So you have the intro, four stories, quick, and then middle. I'm a pocket scientist. I jump in. If you and I explain my solution quickly, man, this might be the longest frame, the longest vignette. I'm the Superman. I'm the superhero. If I were to do this, you too can do this with a SCOTTeVEST. Let's rewind time and then just do a whatever, back scratch and say, this is how this could have gone down. And then get yours now, rotating X-ray.
That's something I really like. So the larger portion of the animation, or basically the ad, would be the main character, so the guy struggling through his entire trip experience, right? Getting from the US to Europe. Then we get to Europe, he gets pickpocketed. You come in, you freeze time, for example, right? And you talk to him. Listen, I'm Scott, I'm the pocket man. I have a solution for all your problems. What if you had this? And you just turn back time. You go back and you speed through the entire process in like an eighth of the time that it took.
Right.
And he comes out to Trevi Square. He's extremely happy. He takes pictures. He enjoys life. He licks a gelato. Done. Get yours.
And then he the last frame should be I'd like to empower him to make other pocket men. I'd like to create
I wouldn't. I would not let him empower other people for now. For the first one, you would be that person. For example, in the end, are you ready to join the pocket revolution? You are.
Go ahead, keep going.
You know what I mean? You are the call to action to the whole process.
I want us to together listen to this. Okay, ready? And inspire ourselves.
If you're gonna play me the jingle, I swear to God.
Where's my wallet? Where's my money? Where's my keys?
Sorry.
Where's my glasses? Where's my iPad? Won't someone help me, please? When finding stuff is adding to your strife. And where's my has become the endless mantra in your life.
This part.
SCOTTeVEST is here. It's easy to be saved. SCOTTeVEST can save you and take away the strain. Bring order to your life. A vacation for your brain. And you'll never say, where's mine? Thanks, SCOTTeVEST.
Again. 6th time today.
Oh, you've listened to it 6 times?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No,
all right. You're doing
five times before this meet. Of course.
Really? All right. All right. Then you're doing. All right. I mean, again, it's listen. We have the best in the world that have given us, the tools to make this fucking awesome. So I mean,
I think this really is the concept. This is a version of what I was pitching earlier. It's not the version of the superhero, but it's a mix, and I think it's gonna work. And you are still remaining the kind of mysterious Deus Ex Machina person at the end, who solves the situation. You're just showing up out of nowhere. You have the solution. Everything is good, and then in the next ads, we start developing you as a character and all that stuff.
All right. So how do we put pen to paper and make this happen?
By Friday, you have a first pass of a treatment.
Okay.
I send it to you. You read it. You comment on it directly, and then we have a meeting. We discuss the comments. We go ahead. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. We done?
Thank you.
That's it.
I think so. I mean, I would like to sleep for once.
All right. I'm gonna post this on social.
No.
Yeah.
No. You're calling my wife beautiful on social. That's not.
No,
nice.
I'm gonna edit the first part out.
Oh, okay. All right. Bye.
She is beautiful, by the way.